this is a painting series that I started in spring of 2022, and since then I've been going back and forth between it, going and creating a set of paintings at a time, and then stepping back and learning more, doing more research, especially into plants and their medicinal properties, the ways that they've been used traditionally in folk medicine and folk magic, and the animals that I've been drawn the most to, which are raccoons, rabbits, coyotes, bears, and snakes. The coyote and the rabbit are especially important because they appear in the legends of the indigenous people of the southeastern United States, as well as people who have been throughout this country, but people who came over as colonizers and then people who were brought here. But the rabbit also appears in Irish and English folklore as a trickster character, as something that can change shape and usually leads someone into another place, acts as like an in-between or intermediary. Something that is important with these paintings is to suspend them in an abstract landscape so that I'm not embedding these characters into a specific place, that their nature, the way that they grow, the way that their history creates the place, and then the combining of certain elements, characters, plants on the plane of the painting is what ultimately creates the meaning. For me, sometimes when I'm working, I make something that I need. For example, combining raccoons, who are traditionally considered magicians, and a plant called Heal All on a painting. So I'm asking, in a way, for these raccoons to do for me what I don't know how to do, and I'm asking that they use this plant that is able to meet and address so many different issues within the body, within the psyche and the energy, the realm of the person. So I'm creating a total sign within the paintings. And with this series, as I reuse characters, I find that I'm creating a dialogue between different paintings through the ways I have the characters act, especially in some of my main larger paintings. The snake is very important as something that can travel between, it changes shape, it goes up and down in time. It is timeless. And the snake, in this case, I consider it a black snake, an indigo snake, or a king snake. And I think of it as female for the most part, but it doesn't need to be. The snake is kind of an aspect of turning the page that is indicating that things are shifting. It surrounds the action, it contains it. The characters all travel between place and time. I want them to be able to be seen as moving between veils, moving and looking at each other through the veil. And that's one reason why it was important for me to use animals, because I feel that the human body is so loaded with, or can be so projected upon. And I wanted to suspend some of these things so that the viewer could interact with something that seems more symbolic but then becomes personified through the action that they're taking in the paintings, and that we identify into an animal rather than seeking to transcend animal form, that there is more like a common ground, common experience between human and animal. I kept the forms of the animals very simple. I didn't work to illustrate them. I wanted them to be kind of block stylized in the way that they appear on the canvas, especially if I'm repeating them. I want them to be contained within and to not become overly rendered so that they have more fluid identity within the whole piece. So combining plants and animals of the Southeast to create a whole